Hello, hello, teacher. This is Daniel Piña Alvarado, and this is my 5-hour teaching experience as my final assignment for your class. So, well, it's not technically 5 hours; it's like 6 hours. But I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to talk about it. Let's start. So, this is Teacher Ball. Say hello. You're going to see him a lot. First, the interview experience. Um, so to get to the teacher, I got in contact with my sister, who is a teacher in Centro de Idiomas, and she had a friend who said that I could use his classroom for 3 days. So the week before the teaching practice, we got I reached out to him and we had a interview. We didn't get our own classroom. We were outside in 2 chairs. Unfortunately, the sun was hitting him on the eyes. I didn't notice that until the interview was over. And I asked him like several questions, like the age of the learners, the level of the learners, and yeah, he could answer all of them. The talkative, the there was no projector, which was well, that was difficult at first, but I managed to get through it. And the material, we used the book Summit 1, and it was an intensive level 5 class of Central Idiomas, so there were adults, as I said, 22 to 15 to 22-year-olds, and there were 22 students, supposedly, in the list. Because like when I got to the actual class, there were only like 17. The level, yeah, I would agree with B1. Like they were very good. They understood everything. The teacher didn't tell me to use like a specific lesson plan template or framework. Like he was very hands off with the situation. The topic we covered was passive voice, although the teacher wasn't so sure because like it was a week before. So of course he wouldn't know what things they saw before my class because they were just about to see those things. It was on Monday. But yeah, yeah, like I didn't have troubles with like finding a teacher, well, convincing him of giving me his class. Like it was great. Nice experience. I love that teacher. I'm not going to say his name for privacy. All right. Second part. What I like the most? Uh, the learners. The learners were awesome. They understood everything I said. They were they didn't need a lot of explanation on the instructions. They just follow everything I said. And they were also very talkative, but in a good way. Like they like to discuss. So that's why I started implementing discussion activities after like almost every activity because they love to talk to each other and they talk in English. Like it was an only English classroom. That's another thing I like because it's, like when it's a bilingual classroom, don't get me wrong, I can use Spanish, but it's weird to draw a line where Spanish should end and English should start. I have experience with before this I had experience with a lot of learners only once, and again that was also good, but it was better. Like they were more advanced. The rest of my experience was being a teacher aide for my sister, and those are children. So it was very different. And I'm glad to try new things. Another thing I like, uh, and as I said, I was worried about that there was no projector, but I did manage to go to Recursos and ask for a classroom with a projector. And conveniently, the classroom with a projector was like two classrooms to the side, to the right of the original classroom, and it was always open at my hour. So I did use a projector. I know I should try to like vary my teacher style, but the projector made things so much easier. So I like that. All right, my strengths. I think my strengths were in my lesson planning. Like my lesson plans were very solid, even though they followed the book mostly. And my attempts at rapport with the students, like I was nice to them and they were nice to me. Also, my ability to get quick explanations out of the way and the students understood. Yeah, I would say in summary, my strengths are that I could explain very well, that I was trying to be fun with the students and the students appreciated that. And oh, also, I was very patient with the students because like there were many that were like 15 minutes late. 15 minutes late. Like I had to like stress back the part of the class just to get them up to speed. But I managed to solve that. Like my reflection in action was on point. What I wish could have gone differently. What I wish I didn't procrastinate I didn't procrastinate as much with the lesson plans, but like I had kind of a writer's block because I wanted to wait until to see how the class went before starting to plan the next lesson. But that also put me into a real question, which I think it's good that I get used to that because I'm going to set that and I will have a lot of questions on that. Another thing I wish could have gone differently is that the teacher commented me that sometimes the students didn't couldn't understand me, and but it wasn't that bad because like there was never a part of the class where the students couldn't work at all. Like I didn't lose control of the situation. I just wish I could speak better, and I've been working on that. I'm still working on that, as you can see. Another thing that could have gone better is like the first day I almost get it. I am almost late because traffic. And another thing was that I wish I would have done some more creative activities, but I just don't have the resources for that. Like, to be printing out lots of worksheets, and there's no internet on the classroom, so we couldn't play online games. Maybe next time I will bring Hangman or another board game, the game on the board. But for now, it sufficed. Now, the areas of improvement. As I said, more creative activities. Stop following the book that much. Another thing, uh, to speak better. As I said before, I've been training on that, but there's still a long way to go. Um, Maybe try to teach without relying so much on slides and the projector, because I know there's going to be the time where I get a classroom without a projector and I cannot get a projector. Like for example, I know a classmate that does classes on a rural place and there's no projector. So I'm going to need to start working and finding ways to still teach a class without a projector because I don't want to depend on technology as much. And another thing is that I tend to ramble and lose sight of the class when I don't have the lesson plan, and I would like to try to not rely as much on the lesson plan while I'm teaching. Like sometimes, like every time I go to a class, I always bring the lesson plan with me just to know what's next. Which I know is good to have structure, but I think I get too distracted with following the steps that I tend to lose focus of the students. So that's my improvement. Stop relying on my Stop relying so much on my projector. Speak better and bring out more creative activities, which some activities were created. Some of my activities were created in my defense. Like, I remember you recommended me unscramble the sentences, but with cutouts, and I did do that, and it was a success. So I will look forward to doing more activities like that in the future. In conclusion, my personal reflection is that I did well. The teacher even said so himself, but there's always something better that I can do. But right now, I think I did the best I could have. It's just that as I learn more, especially in setup, I think I will be able to look back at this class and say, that was a cute class, but now I know that I can do way better than that. Like one day I want to be as good as my teacher, especially teacher Spencer. His class is so great, and I think I can. I believe that I can do better, even if I did well right now. So thank you so much. This was Daniel Piña Alvarado. This was my final assignment, and goodbye. I did the GIF myself. I am very good with technology. Thank you.